What is brain does? Oh, brain does they give me more. Oh yes, they couldn't wait to bash the Y in there. Yes. 15 signs you have a strong, intimidating personality. What?
Brainy Dose presents 15 Signs You Have a Strong, Intimidating Personality. A
No.
strong personality is something that many people are intimidated by. While some people may assume that such a label is just a polite way of saying that a person is loud, obnoxious, domineering, or an ass, there is actually a big difference between these and a more general strength of character. Someone with a strong personality radiates with the self-confidence we're all bound to have, and they aren't afraid to show their assets in the most appropriate way. Here are
Oh, in
15
the
signs you have a
most.
strong personality that may
Oh, in the most appropriate way, just like this person. The most appropriate. Oh, yeah. And this, and this, and this, and this. What's going on?
intimidate others. Number 1. You are opinionated and convincing, but not arrogant. You know
Oh, what? Right. Just you have something to say about everything, right? And you're so thoughtful and considerate.
your own mind, and you aren't easily swayed by others. You enjoy discussing matters of significance with people, and you're competent in debating.
That really means you just smash anybody who gets in your way. Yeah. You're not easily swayed. You're just like a plow, just going through the masses.
Your case. Despite this, you are also very happy to listen to the point of view of others, and you don't belittle them or come
Right, because you know how to shapeshift.
across as arrogant in any way. While you often sway people to your way of thinking with your coherent and well thought through arguments, you aren't in any way disappointed if you can't convince someone. You are respectful to those who think and feel differently than you. Number 2, you are decisive. You
Oh,
evaluate options carefully, but you don't get bogged down so much that you suffer from paralysis by analysis. You trust your mind and you trust your instinct to make the correct decisions, and find it frustrating when others waste time deliberating.
right. So you just stand around. You're like, oh, I just know what to do. I smash it. I smash it every time. I mallet it so hard. I just get it done. Oh,
To you, the wisdom is in being bold and taking action rather than waiting for life or someone else to make the choice for you. Number 3, you are
exactly. You'll
led by
go out there and bust your butt off to get what you deserve and what you want and what you have bashed desired forever, supposedly.
reason more than emotion. Your strong personality comes as a result of being thoughtful and well informed. You may use your instinct to guide you, but you do so thanks
Oh, well informed. Well informed, right? What does that even mean? You're just so well informed. But just in the things that you're allowed to be informed of, supposedly, in this is no. You are informed of Groundhog Day, all the necessary things that perpetuate what you believe in. The relentless, you name it, job, whatever, career, whatever, bash, that is somehow a lever in the grind. And you're just attempting to bring about some bash, shapeshifting attribute to how it matches to what you envisioned future being. What future is in this in Smash? Nothing. Yeah, you. This is you. This is you exactly. Just blasted. But apparently you're just so logic. You don't let emotions get in your way. You're just like, yup, I just do it. Never fails.
to a very rational approach to solving problems. You let your emotions have a say in how things get done, but most of the power is in the hands of the logical, information based part of your brain. Instead
Oh,
of
they couldn't wait to just smash you with that image of left and right brain, but somehow you were the synthesis. You have synthesized it. Yes, you are let emotions do the thing, but then you ultimately smash in a reasonable, logical way. Yes, you are the ultimate alchemist. Yes, and you are the red ball, also about to smash these other bash balls. Amazing.
rushing into irrational decisions, you like to gauge the effect your actions will have on you and the world around you. This is not a
Oh,
quality that many
you're
people can
so
relate to,
thoughtful.
and you
So
will
they're
be
just relentless empaths too, people. They're just out there. They're the ultimate superhuman. Who knew? Who knew intimidating personalities are superhumans, people?
the first to notice. You simply can't stand people who are ignorant in a world so full of information, and you have a hard time tolerating those who choose to be insensitive and
Right, you're like, why, people? Why? Why can't you see that this cause is killing us? Why can't you see that just more jobs equal pay and just everything will be fine and this and more women everywhere and this and this and this and just how about we just let women take over forever and ever and just see what happens because that's what we are supposedly keeping down. We couldn't wait to just smash women at every given opportunity. We just couldn't wait, right? Because there's no such thing as love. But no, you say there is love and you say love is the answer. What love? The love that led you to just smash and destroy everything and then prove to yourself and say, see, there's no such thing as love. No, we're just destroying. We just need a new solution. And this and this and that and that. Smash, 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 smash. Wet dreams of exactly shapeshifting, hybridization, transhumanism, this and this, AI, automatomization, robos cops, relentless robo cops, and this, and empaths, and this, and just well, if you're a strong and dating personality, don't worry. You are a superhuman. You're so well informed, and you can't stand when other people are just so ignorant. And you're like, wow, just I'll send you the articles, man. I'll send you the documents. Just please don't believe anything other than what I'm gonna send you, okay? Because it's just what it is, alright, man? Don't you know? Wow, who knew man's words and man's bash interpretations of what he wants it to be are what shapeshifts, for truly life is. And it relentlessly brings forth life. Who knew? The relentless gift of life. And in the flesh, what is the witness on earth? Water, blood, and spirit. Who knew? So what are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, I just want a strong personality so people will just fear me and just bow down to me as I go out there and help them because I'm such an empath.
inconsiderate when they should be careful and rational. Number 4, you are careful about who you let into your life. Being aware of how inconsistent people can be these days, you are very careful of who you let into your life. Your core philosophy on friendship is better to stay alone and true than be surrounded by fake people. As a strong
Oh,
person, you do not rely on other people to tell you who you are, or what you can do. Even if you don't yet know exactly who you are,
right, because, oh, even though you don't know who exactly you are, you have the confidence of the Phoenix who never was and never will be, right? It's just a bash imagery of the hero's journey and how you're smashing because life is just so unfair and you're just crushing out there, just smashing. And you couldn't wait to bash. So even though you don't know what you want, you're so confident.
You know that you don't need anyone to tell you what you're capable of. You can figure that out on your own. That's why you have a select number of people you call friends. And
Right,
you're
you're Thomas the Tank Engine. You're like, I can do it all by myself. Right? What does that even mean? I did it all my way. I did it all my way myself. And you say, yes, I was alive the whole time. I have to thank my genes for that. I was given good genes. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Right? Just relentless debauchery, relentless denial for what is going on. Life bring forth life, regardless of whether you label it good or bad. And somehow you get to perceive it, witness it in the flesh. What are you doing? I'm out there smashing, creating a life for myself. Don't you know, bud? All right then.
happy with them. When it comes to friendship, you aren't so concerned about quantity. Quality means everything to you. Number 5, you stick to your
And only you determine what that quality is. That's what makes me intimidating.
morals. You know what you stand for, and you are passionately determined in the way you act on your beliefs. Nobody can convince you to do something that doesn't feel right. Your morals determine what actions you do and do not find acceptable from others. You are not afraid to tell someone when they step out of line. Number 6, you do not crave.
What are all these things? I mean, I'm not gonna. This is enough of all this bash, right? All because this is all to just. It's a commercial for people to boast in how they believe they're a strong, intimidating person. Well, who do? Or that these are the things that these are the attributes they need to attain, or somehow carve out, or somehow just obtain relentlessly, or develop, or enhance, or this or that or the other. Wow, smashed. Wow, what is going on?
All right. Thank you. Oh, hey. Yummy. Thank you.
Yummy.
Thanks, Aves. That was so good. You know, all those years, 25 years of doing the Oprah show and going into work at 5:30 in the morning in the makeup chair by 6:30 and literally crawling home at night for 25 years, I used to wonder what the ladies who lunch were doing. Really, I was attracted to like
So what are we in the forest? Are we in the
paintings.
forest? What's going on? I'm supposed to go to my grandma's house. And now I'm just stuck here listening to some bash say stuff. I'm supposed to get to my grandma's house. So is this person a strong, intimidating person? Who knew? No, no, no. She's just a weak woman, right? No, no, no. She's a strong woman. Yes.
Of
The
women lunching.
strongest. There's no such thing as weak women. It's just strong women. Just like there's no such thing as weak men. It's only strong men. And you'll say, no, no, no. There's so many weak men out there who don't even know. And you're this, and you'll just boast, and you say, we need real men out there, bash, bash. And the real men are the ones that just want strong women everywhere, because there's no such thing as a weak woman. No, they're all just strong, or just somehow strong, but getting stronger. The strongest. Whoa. So when will we see the strongest? When will we see if there's if every woman is a strong woman, then when will we see the strongest? And you'll say, "Whoa, you can't wait, buddy." Right? And the women are saying, "Oh, don't you ask for it. It's coming, but don't you make us do it ahead of time. No, we're about to deliver it to you, so just you wait." What does that even mean, strong woman? What does it even mean? Strong man, right? And why do people why could people not wait to point out that there is such a thing as weak men? And sure, you'll hide it behind, things as like, well, they've been suppressed and they don't express themselves. They're not in touch with their emotions and this and this. Doesn't make them weak. They just don't know. They don't have the tools and this and this and no. What a shame. People. Women couldn't wait to go boast and tell their friends about, oh no, what that guy? No, he was just too. But they know, right? What woman is going to go for a supposed apparent weak man in whatever way whether physically or just they see them, they don't have any respect for them? Weakness, right? So it's not that. Oh, and they'll say, well, oh, don't worry, it's not you, it's me and this and this, and this and no, they're out there smashing it. They want to find the strongest person, the best, the greenest, and this and this, and the freshest, and the most thing, and this, and the most powerful, right? The strongest and most powerful. I want my man to just be out there and just crushing it. Yes. No weak ass man needs to subscribe. Nope. Not taking applications for no weak man, no unsuccessful man. No, Mama knows what is juicy. Give me some of that strong, powerful man, yes. But of course, the women will say, I'm stronger. So, what's going on? Fine, the relentless competition, amazing. But then what? What's going on?
And so this is what it's like. But even better, this is an empowerment lunch. I changed how I viewed power about 1989. There was a book I read by a man named Gary Zukav called Seat of the Soul. And in Seat of the Soul, he defined what is true power, what is authentic power.
Authentic
And,
power.
and his definition of authentic
Oh, she couldn't wait. She couldn't wait.
is authentic power. And his definition of
Right, just let it open. Make a circle and just release it. Make the circle and release it. Oh, she knows what she's doing.
authentic power, meaning the kind of power that can never be taken from you. Not your looks, not your fame, not your money, not your square footage, but
Your power.
authentic power is when the personality, your personality, comes to serve the energy of your soul.
And she says, wow, is that supposed to blow me away? When your personality becomes to serve the energy of your soul. What does that even mean? Oh. Right, because what? Personality, the combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. So that's your personality. A famous person, especially in entertainment or sports. So true power is when your characteristics and qualities serve your quality, your bash. What did she say? What is she saying?
to serve the energy of your soul.
To serve the energy of your soul while, right, while you've up down yourself. And, right, synonyms, character, nature, disposition, temperament, makeup, persona, psyche, identity. So when your identity serves the energy of your soul, what does that even mean? Your soul feeds the energy of your soul. Shouldn't your soul feed? I mean, why is it that your personality has to feed your soul? Or is it your personality serving, right? Your personality serving the energy of the soul. Oh. So if the personality is serving, that means the soul is somehow taking from it, right? Using your personality. What is going on? See, I mean, just relentless fracturing, the inverted. And she couldn't wait. She couldn't wait to tell you.
To serve the your personality comes to serve the energy of your soul.
Oh, Oprah, again. Why is it that your personality has to serve your soul? What is going on? And that's power, right? Authentic power. So you're in service to yourself. You're in service to your soul, and you are your own knight and your own master at this and that. What are you doing? Surely it's wow, life, the true promise, right? The spirit, blood, and water. That brings forth life. And that is what you in the flesh are in service of. But no, you say, no, I'm in service to myself. Oh, what a shame.
When you are able to align who you are,
Because then that's where that's where Satan says, "Oh, you're in charge of yourself because you're in service to life." But what is life? Yes, it there's a creator. So do you not recognize the service you're in, the gift of life that has been given? But no, we won't admit that we're wrong. Nope, nope, nope. Just sit down on your way to grandma's house, relentless hours. You forget grandma. I'm just gonna go to relentless conference to boast and boast and boast in the Bash Forest. Who knew? Because I just couldn't get away from the murmurs of this magical creature. Who knew?
who you've become in the world, with really what you've come to do in the world. When your personality serves the soul. So I thought a lot about that. That book was actually life changing.
No, right? Are you in? Are you in serving? Are you serving the ordinance of the Creator, the wisdom of the Father. What is going on? No, instead you're like, no, yes, I'm gonna go murmur in my authentic power. I'm gonna serve my soul. Smashed.
Changing for me. And I was building a home in Santa Barbara. And as anybody who's ever built a bathroom or a home or anything, nothing ever happens on time. And it was 2002, and we're supposed to be finished, and it wasn't finished. And I was like, I can't wait to get in my house, and I'm finally going to have a great Christmas, and I'm going to do the kind of Christmas that I dreamed of from the Courier and Ives, cards. I'm going to have the wreaths on the door, but I didn't have a floor, so it was a little difficult to do that. So I started to think, if I can't do that Christmas, well, what am I going to do for Christmas? My house isn't even ready, and what can I do? So I started, as I was walking around through the trees, sitting under that tree, because my favorite time is to be alone with my thoughts. And as I was alone with my thoughts, I was thinking, what would be the next best possible Christmas for myself? And I thought of the best Christmas I ever had. The best Christmas I ever had was when I was 12 years old. My mother was on welfare. I was living with my mother and a half-brother and sister in Milwaukee. And my mother called me, the oldest, into a room to say, we won't be having Christmas this year. I said, we won't be having Christmas? What about Santa Claus? There is no Santa Claus. I had already figured that out, but okay. I was embarrassed and I was ashamed because for the first time, I had to face the reality that, what I've been suspecting, that we're not like the other kids, that we really are poor, is true. So we're not going to have Christmas, and there is no Santa Claus. My first thought, after being embarrassed and ashamed, was, what will my story be? What am I going to tell everybody when we go back to school and they're showing their toys and I don't have anything to talk about?
Exactly. So who knew that the world has pit the parent against the child and vice versa? The wedge. Because whether you believe in parent Roman Catholic bashes, and you actually believe that, the birthday of, Jesus is the 25th of December, this and this, wow, and this and this and this and that, fine. But then the Santa Claus lie to your children. Amazing, you lied to them, but no, this child figured it out. She's like, well, I've already figured it out. But no, how do I explain being poor to my friends and this? How do I keep face? Oh, the shame. Oh, the shame. Right? So, who knew that the child knew that that's the way you're supposed to react to it's supposed to be poor. What does that even mean? Oh, we just didn't have enough money for toys and presents. That's what it means to be poor. I didn't have any toys growing up. I was poor. What is going on? And the bash kid with all the toys is like, nah, I'm bored. So what is going on? Both children are just defiled, right? One apparently does not have, and the other one has, but he could equally have nothing because he doesn't even know what it means. He's bored relentlessly. So both children just bashed, knocked out, punch drunk, and they see the hypocrisy of the world, whether poor or bash well off. The haves and the non-haves, apparently, right? So what is it that you're supposed to have? Power.
What am I going to do? I'm not going to go outside tomorrow when everybody's out in their yards, showing the toys they got for Christmas. I'm going to stay inside. Am I going to pretend I'm sick? What is my story going to be? Well, late that night, some nuns showed up at our house, and they brought a basket of food, and they brought toys for my brother and my sister.
Choked up.
And I was overwhelmed with joy that
Choked
those nuns
up.
showed up. Not because they brought me a Tammy doll when I really wanted a Barbie doll. I was overwhelmed because somebody remembered
Somebody
that we
gave a
existed,
damn.
and somebody cared enough in the middle of the night to come to our house with food and toys. And also, I would
Right, so people forget, right, about what she's talking about when people talk about, oh, it's a new paradigm, and then you have the anarchists come out and say, yeah, anarchy and panarchy and this and that. And then you say, no, no, no. Who will build the roads, man? Who will give us all the services, privileges, and services that somehow I complain about day in, day out, but who will give it to us? Well, apparently you forgot about this, right? Somehow people give a damn. Yes. Who knew that deep down everybody knows they give a damn? They've only been indoctrinated, they've been poisoned with resentment, anger, jealousy, spite, envy, pride. And of course, confidence. Oh, you love that word. Oh, you're so confident. No, you're just filled with self-boast. Because to you, yeah, it's, oh, I can't believe they cared about us and me because I'm worthless. I'm worthless and poor. I'm worthless and poor. None of my friends will like me, and now I'm just nothing. What is going on? Does not everyone have life? Is not everything on earth in the living relentlessly being brought forth with not one single of an influence of anyone's doing? No, it's just there. What's going on? And you're like, wow, yeah, isn't science just amazing? It's just all working together to give us the illusion that we're alive somehow. Smashed. Smashed.
now have a story. So as I was contemplating, that was the best.
Right, so all this Bash could think about was, wow, how am I going to cook up a story? Wow. All because apparently some shame. Some shame of being poor. What does that even mean? And people say, well, of course there's half and half nots, you Bash, don't you know? So who knew that in the relentless little background that they have here, they're trying to emulate some sort of fairy tale, some forest, and you're in the relentless circle. You're in the pentagram, just sitting down, listening to the Grand Wizard, and you're saying, yes, what is going on? The four winds and this, yes, yes. So even in that fantasy reality, right? Who knew there was such a thing as, well, the fairy tale land with castles, kingdoms, and not the Bash history that you're told about England and France and Spain and no, what is going on? Entire the earth covered in kingdoms. Who knew? What were they serving? What? And you'll say, no, well, each kingdom had their Bash things and no. For what you say government should be, right, is a representative of the people, blah, 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 smashed, right? So somehow to you, the government should be representing humanity, right? As a whole, they should have the best interest for the people, right? And the people out there smashing and working and supposedly innovating and just thriving and blah 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 smash, right? But somehow it's not. And you whine and complain in your respective countries and you're no, it's not good enough. And you use other countries as examples to boast of, well, look, they're doing it good. Let's try that. Yay! What's going on? So who knew that there was such a thing as a fairy tale reality for 1,000 years? Who knew? Where the kings were righteous, just, because they recognized their father, their creator, the ordinance that Christ, the only begotten living Son, right, of God, revealed to man in an undeniable way. And they were all subject. They were all serving that. And did they live happily ever after? For 1,000 years. And now, this came up in my bash little fairy tale reality. This came about on the trail. Variety of power of women. Okay, I might be late for my very important date, but okay.
Christmas I ever had. I thought, how could I make that possible for somebody else? What could I do to create the same kind of experience for other children? So I took 50 members of my team at Harpo, Harriet, one of them, Sherry, the table, and hired another 50 people in South Africa. And we went to South Africa with the idea of creating something that we ended up doing a documentary about called Christmas Kindness. Christmas Kindness, using my personality to serve the energy of my soul. So we went from village to village offering
Oh, so that's true power, right? She's like, I use my personality that I've enterprised my whole life, and now I can just execute to serve my soul. That bash memory that I have of, wow, the best Christmas ever. And wow, that just boasts me and takes me to a different paradigm of ship-shaped parallel worlds. And this and that and that, and I want to give a child the same experience. So I'm going to bash them. Right? It's like the person that goes to some bash lake and they're like, wow, this place is amazing. I can't wait to tell you name it, right? And they go back and they tell them like, wow, I gotta take you to this place. Fine. Finally, they go and they reach that lake, and the other person's like, it's okay. And the other batch is like, what? How can you not think this is amazing? Exactly. Everybody has relatives. Bashes, relative, me, relentless friction. I want better. I know better, and I'm number one. Champion all the way. Nobody tells me how to live, and this and this and that. And no. And nobody tells me what to put in my body, and la. And nobody tells me a thing. I'm just going to go out and plow through the world because I deserve it. Yes. What is going on? But of course, you're the compassionate empath, and this. So you're relentlessly thoughtful and mindful, right? No. So this bash, this person, this type of thinks that by her serving her soul means her recreating her bash memory of being 12 and having a poor Christmas, but somehow the nuns came and gave her this euphoria that she now wants to recreate for other children that have nothing, right? So she's perpetuating the notion of poor and not having bash toys or kindness or showing them, giving them food, being there with them, but bringing them people together and saying, "You're not poor people. You have, look," and then go back to your lives of being poor, apparently. But just for Christmas, come together and just have a blast. What is going on? Oh, and but sure, that makes her feel enormous. Bigger than life, bigger than herself. I don't know how that would be possible, but still.
Toys and clothes, food, soccer balls to children who'd never experienced Christmas before. And early in the morning, you could see them lining up by the thousands to come.
So they've never experienced Christmas before, so now you created an event where you're like, wow, guys, this is Christmas. Relentless presents and soccer balls.
And we actually went to 10 or 12 villages to do this. And people said to me at the time, "Oh, that's so frivolous, and the kids won't remember it, and why don't you use your money to do something else more substantial, Oprah?" And I said, they may not remember the toy. They may not remember the clothes, although they were most excited, the children, to open boxes containing clothes because, as their caretaker said to us, having new clothes made them not feel poor. And for so many of these kids, it was the first time.
Oh, right. Why does a kid have shame of being apparently poor? You're like, no, they get bullied at school and this and that and this and this and that and this and this and that and that and this and that and blah. It goes down to the haves and have-nots, man, and the 1% and this and the money and the banks and blah, and the governments and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Smashed. No, it's you. It's everyone, right? They're all just smashing in their own wizard ways, and they just think they're loving the world. Because apparently the world loves them so much. But we're hurting it so much. But no, it just doesn't make sense why people are just relentlessly smashing. So apparently by giving children apparent false hope, they're just better off. Right? Because apparently they have new clothes, so now they don't feel poor. Oh, what is going on? Because in reality, necessity, right? Uh, you can have probably a handful. You could have a handful of pairs of pants, and that's what you wear. There's no need to have like stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks, right? Unless you're a complete shapeshifter and you worship shapeshifting, of course. So, therefore, that I'm describing everyone under the sun, and so therefore, of course, it's shapeshifting. Worshippers of the light. Who knew? But it's not out of necessity. No, it's vanity. It's this. It's this. It's this. It's that. So to choose the outfit, right? So who, as an adult, one could see the practicality of this and this and that. So apparently, if somebody doesn't have clothes, they've worn the same thing for 3 days. Oh, what a shame! They're poor. What is going on? What is going on? Of course, imposing relentless relative moralities and relentless ways of compassion and empathy and this, but no, you're given the narrative to go along with it, and you'll jump on it because you'll say, "Oh, well, yes, these people know what I'm talking about. These people know how I feel." No, they don't. They've orchestrated a ship that you couldn't wait to jump off because you're out there, you're drowning, and you couldn't wait to just come afloat with something that says that they're representing what you apparently feel, but no, you're just responding to something you were latching onto, and now it's just feeding off of you. So first of all, watch your children just if they've never experienced or known Christmas, why should they be indoctrinated into Christmas? Number two, if this is because they're poor, fine. What is it that you're trying to invoke in them? Oh, just the emotion, the memory, the feeling, the sensation that you're worth something because somebody gave a damn. Just like the nuns. And this and that. So you're telling, oh, we're just doing so many good things for the children. Now they don't feel poor because we gave them clothes. So when those clothes wear out, now they're going to feel poor again, right? And that's why you'll relentlessly create a foundation that gives them relentless clothes, and they don't feel poor anymore because now they can just go and shop for relentless clothes. So what's going on? What is it to live? Who knows? But somehow you're either poor or you're well off or you're just a bigot.
Time they'd ever experienced having something that was new for them. They may not remember what they got in the box, but they will remember that somebody remembered them. They will remember the experience. So during this entire experience, Nelson Mandela had invited Stedman and I to stay at his home. So when Nelson Mandela invites you,
she's like, oh, when Nelson Mandela invites you, you come over and you sleep over. Okay, no, enough of that.
So I have a Facebook friend whose life seems perfect. She lives in a gorgeous house, and she has a really rewarding career. And she and her family go on all these exciting adventures together on the weekends. And I swear that they must take a professional photographer along with them, because no matter where they go or what they do, the whole family just looks beautiful. And she's always posting about how blessed she is and how grateful she is for the life that she has. And I get the feeling she's not just saying those things for the sake of Facebook, but she truly means it. How many of you have a friend kind of like that? And how many of you kind of don't like that person sometimes?
And everybody laughs, right? It's like a gotcha. She set it up beautifully, right? And they fell for it.
We all do this, right? It's hard not to do. But that way of thinking costs us something. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is what our bad habits cost us. Maybe.
Oh, who knew bad habits cost us? Who knew?
You scroll through your Facebook feed and you think, so what if I roll my eyes? It's just 5 seconds of my time. How could it be hurting me? Well, researchers have found that envying your friends on Facebook actually leads to depression.
Oh.
That's just one of the traps that our minds can set for us.
Oh, that's one of the traps that our minds set up for? No, it's one of the traps set up by you and for you through something you call Facebook. But no, that just represents the counterfeit that you have relentlessly embarked on and have taken on as yourself. You have bought yourself to be the counterfeit. You can't distinguish now you from the counterfeit. So it's the trap that you are engaging in, right? The obstacle that you have set for yourself to just relentlessly pay off, and now you're just bashing that. Blah, blah, blah. But no, it's just the mind. It's just your mind playing tricks on you, people.
Us. Have you ever complained about your boss? Or looked at your friends' lives and thought, Why do they have all the luck? Can't help thinking that way, right? That way of thinking seems small in the moment. In fact, it might even make you feel better in the moment. But that way of thinking is eating away at your mental strength. There's 3 kinds of destructive beliefs that make us less effective and rob us of our mental strength. The first one is unhealthy beliefs about ourselves. We tend to feel sorry for ourselves. And while it's okay to be sad when something bad happens, self-pity goes beyond that. It's when you start to magnify your misfortune. When you think things like, why do these things always have to happen to me? I shouldn't have to deal with it. That way of thinking keeps you stuck, keeps you focused on the problem, keeps you from...
Okay, so one by one, she's going to go through them. But okay, in number 1, the world is stacked up against you to relentlessly show you how it's just so unfair, right? And how you just aren't doing it right? And you're like, well, that's why I'm trying to do better every day. And every day is a victory, right? I'm out there smashing. I'm so confident I'm smashing. I'm getting so better. Self-boast, okay? So check. And what else?
from finding a solution. And even when you can't create a solution, you can always take steps to make your life or somebody else's life better. But you can't do that when you're busy hosting your own pity party.
Oh, no, but exactly. You're in your pity party. But it's victimhood. And the ways of the world are stacked up against you to just bash you and to reward you to remain the victim. To remain the victim and just play the relentless character of your choice in whichever victimhood you want to associate with. And go out there and beg to live. Go out there and beg to live. And boast about how people aren't paying attention to you. So what's going on? So that's number 1. False beliefs of yourself, apparently. Pity, pity, pity. This and this and this. But who knew that people have false beliefs of themselves relentlessly in the way that they have brainwashed themselves to identify themselves as and through their apparent experiences, perceptions, this and that and that, blah, blah, and ability to outnumber and influence and boast and just assert confidence and this and this and this and this. Smashed.
The second type of destructive belief that holds us back is unhealthy beliefs about others. We think that other people can control us, and we give away our power. But as adults who live in a free country, there's very few things in life that you have to do. So when you say, I have to work late...
Oh, she says there's very few things you have to do. She's like, I have to work late. She's like, no, you don't. You can just maybe not leave it to the last minute or to this, and that, or maybe do it in the morning. She's like, there's always an option, right? We're free. No. Who knew that there's relentless obligations? Otherwise, you'd be poor. According to your definitions, right? You'd be one of those people that are just begging to have new clothes so that they don't feel poor, apparently. Right? If you don't do the certain obligations to play and get the bash coin that you can then therefore bash, at least have a bash place for yourself. And if you're really dreaming and ambitious, you might just save up to buy a house of your own. Your dream home, hopefully. And this and that and this and this and that. Right? Because no, I don't want to be poor. So I better go out there and bash and comply with the obligations so that I get there and get the bash coin. Yes, let it reward me in the relentless way so that I can go and purchase the envisioned life that I had for myself. Because no, the whole life I have and the whole process, no, it wasn't the life I would want. I didn't even ask to be born. So at least I deserve to buy the life I want. What a shame.
You give away your power. Yeah, maybe there'll be consequences if you don't work late, but it's still a choice. Or when you say, my mother-in-law drives me crazy, you give away your power. Maybe she's not the nicest person on earth, but it's up to you how you respond to her because you're in control.
No, you're the horse riding the mule that's in the unicorn's third eye bash mule intoxicated elephant dream. And now it's the bash cockroach and just smashing and scaring the elephant again because it's so small, and then it revealed itself to be an actual mouse. It unzipped its carcass, its exoskeleton, and just zipped out, and out came the little mouse and the bash elephant and kicked the mule, and the carriage instantly formed and came and bashed after midnight. It just bashed into a pumpkin, so he just didn't get the timing right. But hopefully evolution will give you another opportunity again. So play again, just insert coin, otherwise game over. And of course you will insert the coin relentlessly. Right, because my mother-in-law is a drag. Oh, you're giving up your power. You're telling the mule, I'm not in control. You need to lash the horse and tell it you're in control. She's saying, you're in control, ma'am. Don't you know? You're all in control, people. You're just giving up your power, apparently. You're just not serving your soul, okay? You're not serving your soul. Your personality isn't serving your soul, people. The grand empress, says so. So therefore, what is this Bash saying? She didn't study properly.
The third type of unhealthy belief that holds us back is unhealthy beliefs about the world. We tend to think that the world owes us something. We think, if I put in enough hard work, then I deserve success. But expecting success to fall into your lap like some sort of cosmic reward will only lead to disappointment.
Right, because life is a roller coaster, right? It's the up and down and the meanders and the squibbles and the hoodoo and the alley-oops and the ebbs and flows and bash, smashed. What is it? Who knows? Apparently it's just, no, don't think of the world. You don't expect anything from the world. You just go out there and give it your best. Elbows up. Elbows up, and no matter if you're conscious or unconscious, at least you have your elbows up and you are in the greatest position to survive. Yes. Elbows up, hope for the best. And if you're quite ambitious and competent, knees up and thrust. Ignite, like the mule. You're the relentless mule. Overcoming with elbows up and hoping for the best. But you can't really see what you're doing. No, you can't. You're blind. Right? You've been brought, something that's masked and told that it's by destroying it now you will overcome and become the righteous ruler. So you bash go out there and just pummel it and just destroy it. And then you uncover the mask. Right? It is your bad child. You just destroyed your child. You didn't know. You believed you were destroying the enemy, and no, you're destroying your children. So you've created children that relentlessly have toxic or just bashed views of themselves, bashed views of others, and bashed views of the world. Who knew? But apparently, no, it's just people. we've got it all figured out. There's three of them, three pathologies that just defile you. So people, just stay away from these if you can. I know it's really difficult because I know every one of you is out there smashing one of these three, or all three, or any combination of them. But there are just these three ways. Don't you worry. We're getting our best mules out there to just decipher it and help us boast even more of how it is we can come and smash you. All right? So what's going on?
But I know it's hard to give up our bad mental habits.
Oh,
It's hard to
she
get rid of
couldn't
those
wait.
unhealthy beliefs that we've carried around with us for so long. But you can't afford not to give them up. Because sooner or later, you're going to hit a time in your life where you need all the mental strength that you can muster.
Oh,
When I was 23 years old, I thought I had life all figured out.
exactly. Who knew that? They're basically she's basically saying, guys, you will inevitably hit a bash trauma. You will smash full head-on collision with something that you will have no idea how to overcome. So you all you need to have is your bash, full brain power, full mind strength. That you'll need it, people. You will need it because without it, you'll be just some bash, poor, depressed person that nobody likes, and they just scoff at them and make fun of them, and that's why you should feel bad about it, and this and this and this and this. But no, they're just poor and just unfortunate. They don't have opportunities. They were robbed and oppressed and relentlessly kicked out and just swept. They took a surgical scalpel and just cut their Achilles' heels and just left them to just somehow fend for themselves, right? No, what's going on? What is going on?
I graduated from grad school. I landed my first big job as a therapist. I got married, and I even bought a house. And I thought, this is going to be great. I've got this incredible jump start on success. What could go wrong? That all changed for me one day when I got a phone call from my sister. She said that our mother was found unresponsive, and she'd been taken to the hospital. My husband Lincoln and I jumped in the car and rushed to the hospital. We couldn't imagine what could be wrong. My mother was only 51. She didn't have any history of any kind of health problems. When we got to the hospital, doctors explained she'd had a brain aneurysm. And within 24 hours, my mother, who used to wake up in the morning saying, "It's a great day to be alive," passed away. That news was devastating to me. My mother and I had been very close.
Oh, so you're getting everybody's getting to the same point, right? It's like, oh, who knew you could die? That's why the power of now, the power of attraction, you must relentlessly go out there and fish. Because there's plenty of fish out there, so you just need to know how to trap. Find your tribe. Find your school of fish. Find your school of thought, people. Just find your murmur of clouds of fish of school that you just go out there and smash with. Because nobody likes a loner fish. It'll just get eaten. You must be part of the pack, people. Doesn't matter what pack, just choose one and just hope for the best. Elbows up, hope for the best. And you say, no, I'm with the light and love crowd. They got it right. They talk about frequency and geometry and just the parallels of fractals of who knew where to who knows what. And the higher selves and the lower selves and the fractals of just the infringement of the fractals of the implosions of the exosplosions of the internal endodermis of something that just implodes and comes back out and just in and out. Amazing. And it's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. I'm just changing my DNA, man. It's called epigenetics, don't you know? And it just got up crystallizing the water, man. It's just water memory, man. It's just bash there, man. You just gotta purify the water, man. Just intent, man. Just intent, man. Just emotions, man. Emotions, don't you know? That's why you have to be the relentless empath. What is going on? All going back to death. Right, who knew death could strike at any given moment? And this coming from a life-loving person. She was taken from us. Ah! What is going on? For either a person knows what life is or they don't, and they're in the bash of bliss. So why does one cry in desolation when somebody apparently dies, right? Is it because they know that that person didn't know what life is and they're crying because now, wow, who knew? It's just game over, right? They live their whole life not knowing, and somehow it's just the vapor is gone. But no, you worship the lightning, the apparitions of, wow, the murmur, and the flash that somehow is there and not there and not there, and just so it's like a crystal. It's just different every time. Oh, smash, smash, smash. What is going on? What is life, right? If we're supposed to be so grateful for life and not engage in these three actions or these three mindsets, right? We're supposed to be grateful, right? And not dying. Don't take life for granted, people. You might die. So it's okay to say that, but it's not okay to say, what are you doing? Why are people worshiping death and rejecting life, the true promise, the gift that you live day in, day out, to apparently do as you wilt, and you boast in that? And you're envious in that, and you're successful in that, and you fail in that, and this and that. You're just so glorious in the counterfeit that you have shape-shifted for yourself to grease, and then just grease some more and grind and grind and grind. All for the cause that you could just go out there and pick somehow. But no, you can't. You're given the Bash apparent freedom to create an enterprise, an organization, a business. This and that and the other. And oh, you don't have enough to just pay everything and keep it going? Oh, see you later, bud. Try something else. It just didn't work. Call it a failure and call it a lesson and move on. This and that and this and that and this and this and that. Wow, what a shame. Are people that lost that they have no idea what life is? Now they have to go out there and create some bash product to sell and hope for the best. Hope that people will just buy it relentlessly and create something that will keep growing every year and bash, bash, bash and make you prosperous somehow. And hopefully it's something that you will boast and say you love doing, because otherwise you'll feel bashed and ashamed and unfulfilled in this and this. But who knew that if you actually did something that you loved and were prosperous, you would still be bashed unfulfilled? Because you could be doing more, you could be doing better. Why aren't people being better? Blah, 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 smashed. Or complaining. No. Right? Because you couldn't possibly be that, wow, it's everyone abusing life. And then crying that it's just so unjust that abuse exists. Oh.
As a therapist, I knew on an intellectual level how to go through grief. But knowing it and doing it can be two very different things. It took a long time before I felt like I was really healing. And then on the 3-year anniversary of my mother's death, some
Right. So who knew? Who knew? Everyone knows there is a God, but not everyone engages in the ordinance, right? Abiding the commandments, the way, the truth, life, the true promise. Right? Nobody ritualized that in meaning to say behave. Nobody behaves. Ritualize that day in, day out. No, no.
friends called and invited Lincoln and me.
And she'd say, oh, it's one thing to do no and one thing to do. Oh, it's two different things. And who knew that any conflict can be, it comes down to the separation that you believe yourself to be in and just smashing into, and you're like, well, I'm just agnostic. I don't know. Oh, no, or you're certain. You're like, no, there's no such thing. It's just absurd to even consider that, and this and this and this and that and that and that and this and this and that and that. Or you just don't even care. You're just out there smashing. Friction, 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 pleasure, 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 complain, 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 and hopefully make enough coins so that you're not poor. What is going on?
To a basketball game. Coincidentally, it was being played at the same auditorium where I'd last seen my mother on the night before she passed away.
Because it's just the hardest thing, guys. It's the hardest thing to just abide in the Creator's commandments. It's just the hardest thing. But what? Meditation and Buddha and flying in a magic carpet? Oh, okay, yeah, I'd choose that. And hope for the best. Why is it that man relentlessly does anything but the ordinance of the Creator? Revealed by his only begotten Son. Who knew? Spoken to those who sought the truth. Who knew? The rest were just remained in their selling and trading and this and this and this and that and the marrying and unmarrying and this and blah, 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 blah. And surely he came quickly, fulfilled the promise, and reigned with them for 1,000 years. But now deceived again with the same false promise. Of becoming whatever you want. You are not bound to life. You can create a life of your own.
I hadn't been back there since. I wasn't even sure I wanted to go back. But Lincoln and I talked about it, and ultimately we said, maybe that'll be a good way to honor her memory. So we went to the game, and we actually had a really good time with our friends. On the drive home that night, we talked about how great it was to finally be able to go back to that place and remember my mother with a smile, rather than all those feelings of sadness. But shortly after we got home that night, Lincoln said he didn't feel well. A few minutes later, he collapsed. I had to call for an ambulance. His family met me at the emergency room. We waited for what seemed like forever, till finally a doctor came out. But rather than taking us out back to see Lincoln, he took us back to a private room and sat us down and explained to us that Lincoln, who was the most adventurous person I'd ever met, was gone. We didn't know at the time, but
Lincoln, her husband, just gone. So her mother and then him gone.
he'd had a heart attack. He was only 26. He didn't have any history of heart problems. So now I found myself a 26-year-old widow, and I didn't have my mom. I thought, how am I going to get through this? And to describe that as a painful period in my life feels like an understatement. And it was during that time that I realized when you're really going through tough times, good habits aren't enough. It only takes 1 or 2 small habits to really hold you back. I worked as hard as I could, not just to create good habits in my life, but to get rid of those small habits, no matter how small they might seem. Throughout it all, I held out hope that someday life could get better. And eventually it did. A few years down the road, I met Steve, and we fell in love, and I got remarried. We sold the house that Lincoln and I had lived in, and we bought a new house in a new area, and I got a new job. But almost as quickly as I breathed my sigh of relief over that fresh start that I had, we got the news that Steve's dad had terminal cancer. And I started to think, why do these things always have to keep happening? Why do I have to keep losing all my loved ones? This isn't fair.
Oh, right. So she's going to say, well, then I remember I have a strong mind. And I won't engage in any of those 3 categories. No. Because who knew it's just sufferings, the sufferings of the world. Brought to you by the filter and optics of victimhood. So you can't escape that because it's the actual infrastructure by which you identify your reality, what you call your bash life and your bash self-boast, and you're doing as you're willed and how you see fit. So what's going on?
But if I'd learned anything, it was that
Because
that
you
way.
use that victimhood to just, that's why you're such an empath, because you can see how the other person is a victim. I'm a victim for them, and that's why I'm such an empath. I can see their injustice and the injustice. Why can't you just admit that everyone is being a worker of inequity? And yes, they see it everywhere, but then they're gonna point fingers at anything but what it is that they're doing and worshiping in. Because somehow they're just, no, they couldn't be any more of a good person, right? They couldn't wait to boast how good of a person they are and how they just they have everyone in their best interest, and I just want to help people. I just want to be the relentless helper. Let me help everyone. Because I can see how everyone just needs my help. And this and that and the other. But you're like, but first I need to take care of myself, because how can I help you if I can't help myself, right? And this and this and that. Or I'm like, no, I'm just going to help you and just bleed out. I'll just burn out and help everyone and everyone and everyone all day, but just because I know it's what humanity needs and this. And no. What are you doing? Is it not obvious that everyone is just doing as thou wilt? Elbows up, hope for the best. And the injustices that we see relentlessly, well, hopefully somebody will take care of it. I'll just dish out money to whoever I know and see out there that's working towards that cause. And if not, maybe I'll just boast and create some bash organization that will bash and say that they're doing something about it. Well, amazing. Because, yep, it's just about self-betterment and just education and expression of self and this, and just let everyone just go out there and express and everything and all the diversities of the unicorn, and just believe in the pathway, the paved road to the moon that will just teleport you then there to Mars. You guessed it. And then to Neptune, and then who knew, even to Mercury and through the sun. and it will just teleport you to the, you name it. You can pick, you just think whatever sun you want it to go to, and bash, you'll project, and just you will just smithering into and appear in another solar system. Who knew? At the speed of thought, because that's how amazing it is. Didn't you know? So was in the clear, and she was bash having she took a gasp of fresh air, and then, oh, my new husband's father has terminal cancer. Right? So if it's not this, it's that, right? And if it's not that, it's this and this and that and this. Exactly. It's all just bending your neck. Bending your neck and bending, contorting, but oh no, you realign it, and you're just the relentless Kundalini worker, and you just do all the exercises and all the bash meditations and all the Krishnas and all this bash on the flower of life, and y'all just couldn't just bash and boast. Yes.
Way of thinking would hold me back. I knew I was going to need as much mental strength as I could muster to get through one more loss.
So you power up?
So I sat down and I wrote a list of all the things mentally strong people don't do. And I read over that list. It was a reminder of all of those bad habits that I've done at one time or another that would keep me stuck. And I kept reading that list over and over, and I really needed it, because within a few weeks of writing it, Steve's dad passed away. My journey taught me that the secret to being mentally strong is that you have to give up your bad mental habits. Mental strength is a lot like physical strength. If you wanted to be
Oh. So he's like, oh, if you want to be strong, you just have to cut the weak. You have to kill your weaknesses. You have to just snuff them out. Just choke the living life out of them so that you could just boast in your strength. Right? What are they saying? What are the key to mental strength is to being mentally strong. Oh, what is going on? Is to get rid of your weaknesses. Oh, what is going on?
physically strong, you'd need to go to the gym and lift weights. But if you really wanted to see results, you'd also have to give up eating junk food.
So this Bash said that even her positive thinking or her good habits didn't get her through the crisis, right? So her analogy to her saying, "Oh, it's like going to the gym. You have to work out." Right? So apparently you had already been working out and you knew it, but somehow it didn't do anything. You were still weak.
Mental strength is the same. If you want to be mentally strong, you need good habits like practicing gratitude. But you also have to
So before she wasn't practicing gratitude, and that's why her crisis happened.
give up bad habits like resenting somebody else's success. No matter
So you couldn't handle your mother's passing because you resented somebody else's success?
how often that happens, it'll hold you back. So, how do you train your brain to think differently? How do you give up those bad mental habits that you've carried around with you?
So all the people that you helped, apparently, that you had in your sessions, as a you said you practiced, psychology or whatever, before your mother's death. Wow, apparently you taught them Bash because the crisis came and you just broke down. And you're like, of course, I'm only human. You Bash, blah blah. Wow, but then the relentless tools and the apparent help that you were giving others didn't even help you. And apparently now you're saying, well, no, it's because now I have to be more grateful. Right? Or this or that. What is going on? And so you were now grateful, and now you had to live through again another crisis of your new husband's wife dying or father dying. And so somehow the keys to success, wow, are to just cut your weakness. What a shame. So when does it stop? When do you just become a whole person, a whole being, right? You're like, well, you never know. You can always have to, you never know, and you never know. So you just always be prepared to just handle any adversity with all the tools that you have, and hopefully it'll get you through. But it might not. But sticks and stones, I break my bones. Yes. And they couldn't wait to just smash their skeleton right into pulverines, and then just try to mold it back together somehow. All in boasting, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know I was supposed to be grateful. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to resent other people's success or bash or this or the other. I didn't know. Nobody told me. Oh, what bash? What is this? Right? And again, victimhood. But no, everybody knows, right? Everybody knows the rage that consumes them. And just because somebody points it out to them or whatever, or even them themselves come to realize that, no, they boast in it. They're proud of it because somehow they're a Leo, or they're a Capricorn, or they're Sagittarius, or this or that. And they're boasting that quality of their zodiac, and you're like, I own it. Wow, what a shame. What is going on? What is going on? And you're like, well, everybody's, it's like a spice rack. Everybody's just different spice. But we all just somehow are a rack. Or we're just the diversity of smash that can just worship whatever they want, just smash together. It's okay. Come along. Join the ride. What is going on? I'm gonna stop watching that one because boasting in what a strong mind is.
It starts by countering those unhealthy beliefs that I talked about with healthier ones.
With healthier ones.
For example, unhealthy beliefs about ourselves mostly come about because we're uncomfortable with our feelings. Feeling sad or hurt or angry or scared, those things are all uncomfortable.
No, exact emotions. You couldn't have said it better. Emotions are uncomfortable because they all, you know what, as is at the root of every emotion? Uncertainty. But no, we call it the emotive state. Oh, and it's so amazing. Oh, it's so amazing because it just gives you power to just do whatever you want. No, emotions are uncomfortable. Who knew? All because of uncertainty. Could it be more obvious to you? Oh, no, 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 no. I have certainty. I know death is certainty. Yes, that's certain. That's the only certainty, buddy. Smashed. You couldn't wait to just dive into the darkness forever. Yeah, you couldn't wait. And that is your excuse to just do as you will, even further, even harder, even at a more relentless pace. All while resenting it because you just didn't get what you wanted it out of it, or you're just not going to get enough out of it before you bash. Just quit.
So we go to great lengths to avoid that discomfort. We try to escape it.
But all that state of discomfort, you try to escape it perfectly because you're escaping. You're running away as fast as you can away from the Father, all in relentlessly your journey. You know your hero's journey. Apparently, no, into the abyss. Satan says it's the hero's journey. For surely in the flesh, man gets to recognize life, the true promise. And in that living flesh, abiding in the ordinance of the Creator. For truly it's the only glory. The refuge is truth. That is the way in life. Who knew? But somehow no, you just have to hopefully be equipped with all the good behaviors, apparently, the conditioning of good practice, of threshold, right? And shock at how you are to handle stress and this and this and this and this. How much of a plow you can become.
By doing things like hosting a pity party. And although that's a temporary distraction, it just prolongs the pain. The only way to get
An emotion is a state of being when you believe yourself to be separate. Void. You're some bash island just bashing, and you have to just carve it out yourself. That is a state governed by emotion. Who knew? For surely if you recognized your Father, the Creator, certainty rushes in. And you recognize that emotions have no place in certainty. That does not mean you do not feel. No, it's just emotions. You know that the reason why you were in a state of discomfort, right? The motive state was because, you believed yourself to be just out there smashing. You're just some bash accident that just somehow has to do something. Otherwise, you're poor. Otherwise, you're poor and you're just out there just not doing the best that you can be. Do. Smashed. Okay, enough of this. Woman, awesome, strong, and beautiful. Who knew? The bar family. Just out there smashing. Be the best that she can be. Oh, just cut. Just so cut. Oh, just so chopped. Whoa, is that the Terminator? What's going on? Wow, just crushing. Strong and beautiful. Wow, who knew? Who knew? Wow, she can relentlessly do the spins on the circles, and it's just so hard to do. Of course, you have to be jacked like that to be able to do it, people. Yes. And who knew that it's just like nothing for her. She could just go out there and smash like nobody's business. Wow, amazing. What is going on? Just crushing. Devastating. She's devastating those muscle fibers. She's just relentlessly making that muscle mass, just pumping it and dumping it, guzzling it down and then pumping it, dumping it out. Max cows 20 in 20 minutes. Go in, go out. Relentless medicine balls and hop and pop. Throw them up in the air and catch them and do relentless circles. Oh, just punishing. She's just punishing. Punishing. Whoa. She's just so agile and just relentless. Who knew? Strong and beautiful. She will knock you out. She doesn't give a bash. Right? This person is so intimidating, right? She's the most intimidating, right? Because she has all these 15 signs. She's the relentless empath. She's just out there caring for everyone else, but they won't steer and nobody will get in their way. And they'll just call everyone out, and why they're just so bash weak, and they're not scared of it. And they're just going to say, bash, go out, do bad, fix it, and then come call me. Otherwise, it's just such a drag, being around people that just don't get it, all the while you get it, and this and that. I'm sure you'll help them out, but only if I have time, because I'm so busy. Don't you know, I'm just so successful. I just train every day so long and hard, but the payoff is just amazing because I feel the best of my life. I've never been healthier. I just have the best, greatest life ever. Yes, give me more. Well, apparently this person is just suffering and rewarding, right? No pain, no gain, right? She's like, yes. Just relentlessly aligning that kundalini. Yes, good form. Right? The one-handed just balance. Who knew? Oh, the crunch down, right? Upright lizard. The upright lizard with the half-bash, crane stance, and the half-bash quarter warrior pose. Who knew? And now the relentless spiral in and spiral out. And with the quibbles frog position, and now into the half-bash otter. That's just going to go into the full Hector. Oh, who knew? Right? And just going to swivel on this pipe because she can. Right? Just along with this other bash that she could just easily outperform any day. Because that other bash is just some bash. And she's just crushing the equipment. She knows how to use the equipment better than anyone I've ever seen. And yes, I'm such an expert at knowing what she's doing. But either way, it's just so amazing. Look. And of course, there's a half bashful clown with a mask on the other side. And it's just art. Don't worry, people. It's just amazing. And now, just doing relentless crunches and bash, taking a break, a little breather, because, hey, even the best take little breathers. Now, all of a sudden, she has makeup on. But now, there's no makeup. And now, it's amazing because she's doing it bottom up. And now she's crushing up again on the full, just 2 bash rings. And the other bash is out there and the other girl in the text couldn't give a damn because this isn't amazing enough for her. She'd just rather be on her bash phone and relentlessly pumping weights. And the band that just keeps your form and just gives you that tension and that spring back, and then your muscles just train better. And now, relentlessly just take it off and put it back on, and just on and off. And then up and down and up and forward. And now you're using your body, yes, because you must use your body relentlessly while it's young. And while you can stretch and hopefully keep it nice and sexy and youthful up until your 60s and 70s, and hopefully you can bang out, still do yoga whenever you want up until you die. Because yes, you must relentlessly use your body, otherwise it'll just turn into a vestigial organ and you die. So you must relentlessly just use your body and have it just be cut like this. Okay, people, this is what it means to live. Okay, people? And no, you might say, no, this is just her choice. No, you must all go out there and train like this. Otherwise, you're missing out. Yes, surely you are. Again, because personality, just a combination of characteristics, apparently. Whoa. VIP, star, superstar, celebutant, name. Wow, famous name. So name is a personality, of course. Your name is a personality. Who knew? So we're all, bestowed with a name, and we're carrying out the character we have come to create, that we just identify with it relentlessly. And how we can come to shapeshift it and thus come to be in favor and hopefully not out of favor, and this and that and this and this, and grow and diversify and expand and unite and partner and this and this and this, and diversify some more and expand and shapeshift some more and contribute and this and that and this and this and that, and collaborate and bash and then rebash and metamorphosize into some beautiful butterfly that somehow just comes and smashes you because the butterfly effect, and just by it being born, you die. Oh no, what a shame. What is going on? Surely just hiding behind personalities and then saying, yeah, that's my cause is this, and you identify with it, and you're like, yeah, I'm serving my soul and this, and that's true power. And no, power is just being strong in mind and just formalizing that pattern of just smashing, so you have the good practice that hopefully that will lead you to endure the crisis whenever it comes, because you don't know when it's coming, when it's gonna come and smash you inevitably. So people, hopefully you're just grateful enough, or just do whatever you want, recognize what you just should be, just relentlessly hold as your beacon, and hopefully it will keep you afloat when it is that inevitably you will get smashed. And hopefully you won't just go and rock and just tilt and kilt and bash, roll over and just drown. No, hopefully you'll stay afloat. Otherwise, you'll have to just drown for a little while, and hopefully be just resuscitate yourself somehow, hopefully, and then hope for the best. Hope some bash ship comes and saves you. Oh no, there's relentless ships that will take any drowning bash out there, and they say, okay, we are the ship of blank victimhood. You serve us now. And you say, wow, you saved me. Okay, I will just devote my life to this bash cause. Well, what a shame. Oh, I feel not poor anymore because somehow now I don't feel shame for being bashed at school, being socially bashed, that I'm bashed. Because somehow my parents are poor and now I'm poor and I don't know what poor is, but somehow I'm ashamed of it. And it's just because all the 1% and this and this and this and this and that and that. And smashed. What's going on? Right? Creating little victims. You couldn't wait to create little victims. Number one, you begin by making them to feel themselves separate. There is no such thing as love. Please receive guzzle loads of the false love, though. The counterfeit, yes, you can have it, and you can shapeshift it, and you can retain it, and just exclude it from others, and just dish it out, supposedly, to whoever you want. No, smashed. What does that even mean? No, it's exactly your personality just being affable or non-affable. And that's the apparent, attractive, the lure of it all, that you can come to, wow, make your own avatar how you want it, and bash, shape shift it. Who knew? No, all abuser of life. For surely there's only the knowing that there is a living God and living through that worship, which has nothing to do with, you know, the notion of bettering, society or some refurbishing, reform. No, what is going on? Surely it's a fallen, it's a bash mayhem. It's bloodbath. Okay. At this point, there's nothing you can do that actually is no. At this point, it's what is going on. And there was no point where any man was doing anything, to somehow prevent anything. No, it's all been a pushing and a perpetuating of a specific influence, a personality. What personality is being manifest, being brought forth in manifest at the hand of man, through the mercy of the life of the Father, of the Creator, the life that bringeth forth life, until the resolve is fulfilled. But no, to you there's no such thing as faith. There's no such thing as certainty of knowing the Father. You're like, no, where's your God, huh? Why doesn't he come down from the clouds? Why is he some old bastard sitting in some cloud? Well, come down. Tell him to come down and just have tea with us. We can't wait. Come on, but make him come down. And you're like, and they're like, exactly, you can't. So bash, he doesn't exist. And that, wow, exactly. Just lost. Just so lost. Right? Let them boast. Let those boast. Let the deniers be deniers, the believers be believers. But believers of what? Because surely all the nations that believe in whatever bash religion they say really believe in is a counterfeit. For surely it's either the notion that there is a living God and that there is a way, that man is deceived and that there is a way out to endure. Yes, the truth. Who knew? The only refuge. Where one attains peace, wisdom, in abiding humbly in recognition that there is such the true promise, life everlasting with the Father forever. And that the vapor that you call your life, your celebrity VIP personality that you call your life, is absolutely guaranteed to perish. But no, you use that as an excuse to say, exactly, that's why I must make the best of it. No. That clearly shows that there's nothing to gain from any personality. No. Make union with the Father, the Creator. Accept the love unconditional that He is. And what more than do you want than recognizing that life is brought forth, regardless of whether you call it good or bad? It brings forth relentlessly. But no, to you, you just wanna. You're bored. You're bored, and you just couldn't wait to be that person that is intimidating because of how strong you are and how much you've overcome, and now you're out there helping people. No, no man can save himself, let alone another. Recognize that there is such a thing as perdition, corruption, depravity, vileness, wickedness, murder, conspire, conspiracy. Who knew? I mean, who knew that there all these things exist? And you say, well, they exist, but it's just here and there. No reason to have alarm. Nope, 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 nope. So who knew that in a reality where that those things exist? Immediately you, I mean, wow, what is going on? What allows man to carry out forth in any of those things, if not that it's that he's deceived? How other possible way could man engage with all those things if not that they're deceived? And that it's too good. It just feels too good. It's the best they've ever known, because there's in that void state that they call that good because that's the best that they've ever known. The counterfeit has gotten to the level that they prefer it, right, to what was beat out of them, the notion of life. And you have memories of when you were a child, and you call them the developmental years, and there's a no. Who knew that's the time when you haven't been completely bashed by the world? That comes later, don't worry. But who knew that children are targeted relentlessly and bashed already from a very young age? And nowadays, wow, just wow, they might as well just have the complete download already before they're before being birthed. They're born into the counterfeit complete, offering them up as a sacrifice to the ways of the world. Let this child be used to further the agendas of Bash Man, and how we're gonna bash trying to manipulate and shapeshift things to get better. And this and this and this and that and that. No, what a shame. All deniers of life, and have fallen to the bash murmurs of sorcery and trying to create some bash imagery of fantasy of some bash future, that you're just so upset of how we're just not quite doing it right. We're just not. We're doing it completely wrong, apparently. We're doing it all wrong, people. We just are doing it all wrong, and this and this and this and da 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 da. Something has to give, and we're gonna take the power back and all this bash. No, lost. Lost. Return to the Father. Admit you're wrong. Endure the flesh. Forgive your enemy. Love your neighbor as thyself. For you love the Father with all your heart, soul, and might. You know there is such a thing as right and wrong, good and evil. Yet it does not govern you. For surely the truth is your beacon, and its refuge is the sword. The only sword that cut deeper than any fleshly wielded fleshly sword. So what do we stand with? The perishable impermanence of the bash things of the world that are offered to you, the bash idols and the bash things that don't last, as something for you to use and just abuse during the span of your bash apparent lifetime? No, what shame. For truly we know what we are and what we're doing is wrong. But no, we deny it and bash, just deny, blame, join the bash underdog cause, join the bash underdog organization, blah, blah, blah. But then when it becomes, and that's what happened to the bash hippies. They became the bash corporate bash leaders that you hate today. We'll end it there.